Any other thoughts on Overwatch?
I have some,
All right. Well,
but I'll bring them up when we get to them. I
yeah,
don't feel like typing right now.
that's fine. We'll just yap about them for a while. That's what we do. We're nerds who yell at microphones about things. That's our shtick.
Who
So
needs
let's,
notes?
huh?
Who needs notes?
Who needs notes? Damn Skippy. All right. We are recording. Hopefully Audacity doesn't crash this time right after we're done. Can you hear this?
Horn side.
Yes.
Awesome. All right, good enough for me. Let's do this thing in 3, 2, 1. Wait. Okay, now 3, 2, 1. Stop making noise. 3, 2, 1. This is Life is Leet episode 41 for Wednesday, June 24th, 2014. 2015. Damn it. My perfect record is no more. Welcome back to Life is Leet. This is a podcast of nerds yelling at microphones about things. I'm Jesse Hanna, and joining me tonight, once again, as always, is my co-host and younger brother, Aaron. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty alright.
Cool. Well,
Not much going on.
yeah, well, there really hasn't been a whole lot going on, and we had the big blast of the pre-E3 keynote events, really. And then a couple neat things here and there at E3 and the Steam Summer Sale, and that's been about it lately, really. Just a little.
You mean Steam Wallet Massacre Week?
Yes, I need to post a link to this in the show notes. I sent the video to you. Shingeki no Gaben, subtitled "Attack on Wallet," and if you see an Attack on Titan, it will be the most perfect and most hilarious thing that you've ever seen. We'll have a link to that.
It goes with a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Ironically enough.
It,
I must have bought like 8 games during that sale. My wallet is not pleased.
yeah. I've done that before. I'm not now. Kind of saving up for a house, so that's sort of taken over.
That's kind of the thing.
That's sort of taken over most of my budget lately. But yeah. Anyway, we'll have a link to Attack on Gaben in that YouTube video in the show notes. Lifeisleet.com is where you'll be able to see that. In the meantime, let's go ahead and talk about what we've been playing this week. And depressingly enough, for me, really, it's been more of the same, just more Hearthstone and also some more Pokemon White. And also the last couple of weeks, really, I've been completely obsessed with the soundtracks, the super music collections for the Generation 4 Pokemon games. It's Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, and Heart Gold, Soul Silver. And I've just been wanting so badly to just go back and play all of the Gen 4 games. It's becoming kind of a problem. I sort of have to sit down at some point and actually do that because I just really want to play those again. And I also really, we've talked about this on a previous show, but I also really hope they freaking remake Diamond and Pearl because that user interface is terrible. And it's
gonna happen inevitably. Just hold your breath. Or
Yeah.
don't hold your breath.
Well, no, I'm not going to hold my breath for it. If it happens, it probably won't be for at least another year, maybe another 2 years, depending on if they announce or come out with a main series game this year. Who knows? Who knows what they're going to do? But I really hope that they remake them because I want to be able to play them and not be constantly infuriated by the horrible shoehorning of random junk into the touch screen, but still leaving the menu in the top screen. Just, why, Nintendo, why? At least they've learned their lesson since then. So, anyway, that's been it for me for about the past week. Aaron, what are the fruits of your wallet's lightning over the course of the Steam Summer Sale?
Well, 8 games, that should probably tell you that I got some stuff. Probably one of the things that I have actually touched so far is Final Fantasy VII, which I bought during the Steam sale because that remake hype.
Mm-hmm.
And it's enjoyable, but I still need to play more of it. I think I've barely just scratched the surface of the game, so
Yeah,
I'll talk more on that later.
it's long. I've got it on Steam, and I've only gotten a few hours into it, and it's like I'm still in tutorials. Final Fantasy games, that's kind of the first few have no tutorial whatsoever, and then
Like one.
yeah, like one they just throw you in and you figure it all out yourself. Starting, I think, with about 7 is where they spend ridiculous amounts of time explaining everything to you, and then in Final Fantasy 13 you go like almost a whole day of gameplay with, and you're still not even out of the tutorials. So it kind of swung a little far the other direction over the course of the series lifetime.
I mean, I've seen a little bit of gameplay for Final Fantasy VIII, and in comparison, 7 looks incredibly simple.
Yeah, that. I like the active time battle system that they.
Oh no, yeah, I'm not talking about like the battle system. I'm just talking about some of the more supplementary stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's true. They did add in a bunch of other stuff here and there with the games. I my favorite JRPG battle system is, and probably always will be, Bravely Default, because Bravely Default, and it's right there in the name. The battle system is the title.
It's that simple.
And then that closely followed by Golden Sun. But I do really like the active time battle system. You get that in FF7. You kind of got that sort of thing in FF13. Those are both really fun. But yeah, I kind of want to go through and finish the PC version before the remake comes out, which you never know, you might actually be able to, because it looks like it's going to be a while before the remake hits, because all we know about it is the trailer and that they're going to tell us more later this year, and that's it. So we're just going to have to wait and see. All right, after the big E3 episode last week, we really don't have as much to talk about this week, but we are going to talk about something that's been coming out over the course of the last several weeks, and that is gameplay videos for Overwatch. I'm still ridiculously hyped about this game. I still go back and watch the cinematic for it like once a week at least. And for the last several weeks, Blizzard has been posting to the Overwatch YouTube page full gameplay videos from early builds of the game for each character, for each hero. And they showcase the maps, and they also showcase the abilities and the different play styles of different characters. You also get to see the heads-up display, the objective tracker, that sort of thing, the kill cam. And what's really neat, though, is that these videos are all in 1080p and 60 frames per second. So we'll have links in the show notes, or we'll have a link to there's a playlist, I think, on the Overwatch YouTube channel. So we'll have a link to that, and you can drown yourself in the glorious goodness of Overwatch videos.
And it is shaping up to look pretty good.
Yeah, it really looks really good, and I've become even more convinced. This is what I've thought of Overwatch really from the beginning, from when they very first announced it at BlizzCon, at the opening ceremonies is what they're called at BlizzCon. Couldn't think of it for a second, but ever since then, I've had it in my head that Overwatch is more MOBA, more a first-person MOBA than your typical first-person shooter. In Team Fortress 2, in Halo, and Call of Duty, you've got different weapon types to account for. So you've got your sniper rifle, your shotgun, your that sort of thing. And you've got some different kind of classes that have different weapon types that they specialize in. So in TF2, you've got the minigun for the heavy. You've got the Demo Man's grenade launcher. You've got the medic's, whatever the hell that thing is. But in Overwatch, you have to account not even just for different weapon types, but for entirely different mechanics for each character. And some of them do kind of fit into your first-person shooter archetypes. Like you got Widowmaker, who's a sniper. You got Torbjorn, who's basically the TF2 engineer. You've got Bastion, which is kind of the if the engineer's sentry gun were itself a playable character, I guess. But then you've got others that are far more MOBA-like in Symmetra, in Tracer, Zenyatta. And so I really feel like, and watching the gameplay videos, I really get a sense of Overwatch being a lot more, a better description of Overwatch than just first-person shooter, being it's a first-person objective-driven MOBA. It's not just kill the other team's core. Kind of like Heroes of the Storm, where you've got the other side abilities, but if that was the main thing. So you've got your payload, your capture point, and they do showcase a lot of the different maps that they've announced so far for the game as well. And I'm excited. That sounds just fascinating to me because it gets kind of boring being kind of stuck in just the same shooter games basically with just very slightly different skins. Everything's a takeoff of Call of Duty and Halo or
Whatever.
TF2 if you've got more of a class-based shooter. Everything falls into kind of those two camps, but Overwatch seems like it's really trying to kind of break that mold a bit. And I've got to say that so far, my favorite hero, just the looks of the hero, the gameplay, all of that, it has been the whole time and definitely still is Tracer. In WoW, my main is a rogue, and 99% of the PvP that I've done in WoW has been with the rogue, which is a very ultra mobile, escapey, just harassing the hell out of the other team class. And
Well, that depends on how much you PvP.
well, yeah, and I've done a fair amount of PvP with my rogue in WoW. It's fun. Every once in a while, I get a wild itch to just go in and do nothing but chain battlegrounds for a whole weekend, and it is a lot of fun. I do that every once in a while, and so that kind of gameplay is. I know I'm going to make a lot of enemies by admitting that I play rogue in PvP, but the abilities that Tracer has, the ability to just kind of blink 10, 20 yards ahead of herself, or the ability to rewind time to escape. So you just zip in, zip, plant a bomb, and then rewind out of there. That sort of thing is just fascinating to me. It looks like it's really hard to master and get the hang of, but it looks like exactly the kind of play style that I would fit right into in this game. So my favorite is definitely still Tracer, and she'll probably be the first one that I check out if I happen to get into the beta whenever that comes out. Second place, though, I'd have to say is Torbjorn, because I'm also a fan of the NG in TF2, so I'm gonna have to check him out as well. And yes, the proper pronunciation I've checked with actual Swedish people. The proper pronunciation of it is Torbjorn. The O with the umlauts is kind of a E sound, kind of a sound, so it's Torbjorn. What's your favorite character so far, Aaron?
I'm kind of leaning towards either Zarya or Winston because because I play a lot of heavy in TF2, and
Yeah.
those two characters seem very much like the heavy. Winston definitely seems more like a melee heavy. But
Yeah,
Zarya has a freaking particle canyon.
Winston
canyon.
you can't really argue with that. Winston and Reinhardt are both kind of the melee tank characters. Reinhardt's got that massive, gigantic, freaking hammer of kill everything, and he and Winston, I think, both have the ability to just bum rush someone and pin them against a wall, which looks horrifying and awesome.
I've heard. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I've heard some people say that like Winston is more comparable to the Pyro because the flamethrower and the Tesla thing,
Huh.
but I don't remember the Pyro being quite that bulky,
Well,
so
no.
that's why I draw more comparisons to the Heavy with
I and
Winston.
and obviously the natural comparison that everyone is making, that we're making, is of Overwatch to Team Fortress 2. And in my by far my most played class in TF2 is the heavy. But I don't know, something just about the different the more ability focused feel than just the weapon focused feel of TF2. Overwatch is focused more on abilities, just gives me more of a WoW or MOBA style gameplay vibe, and for that kind of game, I gravitate more towards the mobile, escapey, harassing character types, the rogues, the freaking what's her name, the Diablo 3 demon hunter
Demon Hunter.
in
That's it.
what's her name in Heroes of the Storm? I can't think of it.
Vala.
Vala, that's it. There we go.
I was gonna say Sodia, but no, that's. I think that's the
That's
barbarian.
that's the barbarian, yeah. But yeah, Vala in Heroes of the Storm, that sort of thing. That's the kind of character that I gravitate more towards in those. And Overwatch, not just because they're Blizzard games, but just the feel of Overwatch feels more like a WoW PvP style gameplay, or a MOBA style gameplay, and that's the kind of character that I gravitate towards in those. And so that's why Tracer really is the character that's most intriguing to me. We still don't know though. I was kind of hoping that at E3 we would get at least a hint of new stuff about Overwatch, but we really didn't.
Nope.
They haven't even hinted in the slightest about what they're gonna do as far as monetizing it. But I do know that I would pay $60 for Overwatch if it was in a box on a shelf. And I would also pay for individual heroes outside of a free to play rotation. I'd pay for skins, all that sort of thing. Account XP boosts, all that sort of thing. I'd pay for that too. Whatever the monetization model is for Overwatch, and Blizzard's got experience all up and down the spectrum of boxed games, free to play now with Hearthstone and Heroes. So all I know is that whatever they do for it, I'm 100% in. This hype train can't roll fast enough because I'm completely on board it. Whatever they do for it, I'm totally hyped for Overwatch.
Yep. Too bad my PC might not be able to run it. Well, we don't know that yet. But
Yeah, well, we know like nothing about it other than just the gameplay videos that they've posted. So hopefully, pretty soon. I'm guessing that by BlizzCon, we'll either have a beta date before then, or they'll announce at BlizzCon, "Hey, the beta's open," and they just won't say anything about it before then. They've done that sort of thing, not very often, but every once in a while they'll just go, "Oh yeah, remember when we said this thing was going to happen in this vague time range? Well, it's here." So,
guess what? It's here today.
yep. But that's my guess, and we do know that we'll be getting the beta in the fall. So I put me in cryostasis for the next 5 months because my body is ready. All right, let's move on now to
One more thing.
just to close out this pretty short episode. Again, not a whole lot to talk about after E3 last week, but one awesome thing that did kind of come out at E3 is a new trailer for a game, Lego Dimensions. And if you haven't heard about it, it's sort of Lego's version of Minecraft, I guess. It's like Minecraft, but you're building with Legos. And you have a kind of a toy. It's it's like Minecraft meets Skylanders or Disney Infinity kind of. So you've got
Oh yeah.
you've got a toy pad. You can build Lego stuff on it, and it goes into the game. And at E3, they released a trailer for Lego Dimensions that is Portal. Yes, Portal. And the trailer for it, you've got Gandalf, you've got Batman, and you've got some other character, and they're in a portal test chamber, and it's just the greatest thing ever. Really, you can't. There's no other way to describe it. It's exactly what I've said, and you have to go watch it. I want this game. It comes out in September, I think, and I really hadn't heard. It had just somehow gone under my radar. I hadn't heard a whole lot about it until just recently, but I totally want this game now. It's awesome. All you need to know is that you can be Batman in Portal. They've basically recreated Portal with Lego, and you're gonna have to go see it. We'll have a link to it in the show notes. If you're watching us on the live stream or on YouTube, you're seeing a little bit of it. We'll have a link to that in the show notes. But definitely go check that out. Again, that's Lego Dimensions. It comes out in September, and I am totally on board because it's awesome.
I haven't played a Lego game in like forever, or at least it feels like it. They were fun.
The Lego Harry Potter games, I still keep those on my iPad and just pop back into them every once in a while. I love the Lego Star Wars games I have those for GameCube. Those are awesome. I think I actually have those on iPad as well. They're a lot of fun. They've always done a great job with those. But I'm definitely going to be checking this out. And that's pretty much going to do it for this episode, I think. If you want to check out the show notes, if you want to get MP3 downloads of the episode, if you want to find links to our Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus pages, and links to subscribe to the show on iTunes or via RSS, you can find all of that at our website, which is lifeisleet.com. That's LIFEISLEET.com. We're on Facebook at fb.me/lifeisleet, Twitter at lifeisleet, and on Google Plus at +lifeisleet podcast, and on Twitch at twitch.tv/lifeisleet. And if you want to watch our live stream, which will be Wednesday nights at 9:30 Arizona time, you can find those on Twitch or at lifeisleet.com/live, where you will also find our chat room, which Blue Fire just joined us in the chat room just as we're closing out. Yeah, a little bit late, but that's okay. We'd love to have more of you here. So again, Wednesday nights, 9:30 Arizona time, lifeisleet.com/live. Come join us and hang out in the chat room. I'm Jesse. I write this thing, so if anything in it is wrong, blame me. All the stuff that I do is at jbhanna.net or at jbhanna on Twitter. I stream things sometimes at twitch.tv/jbhanna. Aaron streams things sometimes at twitch.tv/plato0. That's PLATO and the number 0. And whenever we stream something, we'll announce it on our Facebook or Twitter pages, and it'll be mirrored over to our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/lifeisleet. If you want to contact the show with feedback, comments, recommendations, suggestions, audio attachments, anything like that, you can send all that to us at podcast@lifeisleet.com. Again, that's podcast@lifeisleet.com. That is going to do it for this week. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening, for watching. Till next time, from me, from Aaron, everyone within the sound of our voice, take care.
Bye.
And done.